What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this comic video. So thank you everyone who has subscribed. Mega appreciated. If you are new to the channel, a like and a subscribe is also super appreciated. Now, if you are a fan of my content on the CW, I will be kind of rationing out the uploads on that, as there's not much news on that. Just a little channel update for you there. But every Wednesday, considering it's not Legends of Tomorrow and Flash Day anymore, we are covering Comic Book Day. Now, I did intersperse comic book talk in when the shows are actually on, but now we're back to what I originally did. And this week, we are discussing Deathstroke and, of course, Batman, two, in my opinion, of the most interesting comics out this week, which both were actually really good. So let's talk about Deathstroke first. Now, if you saw my previous videos about Deathstroke becoming a speedster and also Deathstroke making his new team and becoming sort of, air quotes, good, then you will be wondering just what is happening in his life. Now, it seems like as he touched the Speed Force, he has become good, or he is ascended and seen beyond absolutely everything. He's kind of really had a hit blunt moment and realized that, well, life is more than just killing people on a whim and being an evil bounty hunter. But now he is out there. This is the epilogue, really, to the Lazarus Contract story, which I think was really good. And if you haven't read it, then I would highly recommend picking up the whole thing if you are a fan of Titans or Teen Titans, and also Deathstroke as well. So it's well worth picking up. So at the end we had Deathstroke becoming Deathstroke no more, and really here he is Slade Wilson, and interestingly he is dressed in white throughout this issue, which is pretty cool, and it sees him trying to unite his team and kind of making amends for how he was when he was Deathstroke, considering he, kind of wronged a few people. Just for one example here is Power Girl as well, and he is trying to get her on side to join his new team. Now, we don't know exactly what his aims or what he actually wants to do or why he wants to set this team up, but curiously, he is trying to set this up all the same. So, at the end of this issue, it's interesting that next week shows that, or next issue, is the Dark Titans. So could he actually been trying to set up his own version of the Teen Titans, considering that he does actually still sort of hate the Teen Titans still for what they did and what he thinks that they actually did, because, well, they were, his enemy. Now, obviously, Wally West is joining, but he wasn't actually in this issue. We know Wally West is joining based on the next few issues of Deathstroke itself, and he will be facing off against some historical characters, Dr. Light included, which is really a curious choice there, but it really will be cool to see those throw down while his team does its thing. Now, I can't help but think this is probably going to be more like what we had with the Batman. We had in Detective Comics, we had the Bat family, we had the Team Bat with Barbara, or Cassandra, leading the charge, or Batwoman as well, if you want to call her a proper name, which is really cool with her leading all that. So I think it's going to be more like that with the team, and then Deathstroke running off on his own, doing his own thing. Now, is he good? We don't know, but we learn some history here of how the Icon suit came to be and how it was invented, and we see some, obviously, with some Iba stuff there as well. So we see him with his son on the private jet as well, considering, he has a lot of money. But it's cool, in the last panel we see this. This is pretty much just wrapping things up from the Lazarus Contract and wrapping things up from the last few runs of Deathstroke, the last few issues before the Lazarus Contract as well, and resetting it, which is interesting because the Flash and Batman have also had this kind of epiphany that Deathstroke has actually had as well. So I'm not too sure how far and wide-reaching these epiphanies are going to be. Superman also had an epiphany as well in his comics, kind of reborn and turned into both the New 52 and the post-crisis Superman as well. But he's too busy fighting Manchester Black right now over in his own comic, which is really freaking awesome. A really cool storyline, I think. It's a bit too much, a bit heavy, but it is a good read, and Manchester Black being back is neat, and the writing of him is really cool. I kind of find it hard for Superman wanting Superman to beat him, because, you know, it was really funny seeing him in the issue. Now, a strong read there, I think. A strong issue. And really worth picking up if you're interested in Deathstroke's new Teen Titans. But that is it for Deathstroke. We've got Batman now, and wow with Batman. This was actually spoiled for me, so there's going to be spoilers for this. So if you haven't read the issue, then please go, and when I've come back, please come back. But Batman has just, I am shocked, to be honest. I should have seen this coming. So the last kind of few arcs of Batman in DC Rebirth, the last few, have centered around Catwoman. She was involved with getting the Psycho Pirate away from Bane. She was also involved in just a few things before that as well. And really, obviously, Batman has, just like Deathstroke, after the button, has had an epiphany and he's kind of having an existential crisis. Now, this is kind of set up and kind of gone on the path of, we've got Gotham Girl returning. So to me, this really does feel like we're getting an epilogue to everything that has preceded this issue. So we've got DC Rebirth, we've got Catwoman, we've got Gotham Girl in this. So it certainly does feel like that they are actually having an epilogue for this, because epilogue is in the name of this story as well. So that's pretty cool. A nice little clever way of doing that. And Tom King has done a great job. Not quite as good as Scott Snyder, in my opinion, but it has been really good all the same, considering he has taken more risks. We had the Brave and the Mold, that one-shot issue with Swamp Thing, which was just stunning. Really great issue. And I think that he takes kind of more risks, I would say, in these kind of one-shot issues. The art and everything seems a lot more like an indie comic. It felt like I was reading a lot of creator-owned issues. But it starts off with Gotham Girl wondering what she is going to do, because we haven't seen much of her. And, well, she is kind of on her own now, as she says. And she's not sure what to do, because if Gotham Girl carries on, if she tries to be a hero for the rest of her life will be exponentially shortened, because she uses her powers, she could possibly die. So she's kind of discussing with Batman what to do, and Batman is also realizing that maybe there is more. There is a purpose outside of being Batman, and that is living his life, which is where Catwoman comes into it. And he's realized just from day one, he's meant to be with her, and he asks her to marry him. Now, I really do think that this is just going to be a gimmick, and maybe he's not actually going to possibly marry her. Maybe she will say no. What will Selena Kyle actually do if she marries him? Will she give up the life of crime? So I'm not too sure there, but I'm hoping they kind of marry him. I'm not too sure. I would be honest, I'm really on the fence about this storyline. Do I want Batman to get married to Catwoman and live this life? Now, Jeff Johns has said that this is all set up so Batman will be off the board for Dr. Manhattan, and he can focus on Superman. So this is just going to be a gimmick coming up to the Doomsday Clock storyline in November. We've got quite a few months until November of Batman comics, so won't they do that? So I'm on the fence. I'm not sure if I like it or not. I really do like the gritty Batman, but I like what Tom King said. He said that he wants to, everyone's done the dark Batman, and if you carry on doing that, well, I'm paraphrasing, but he wants to do something different and take the book in a different direction, which is absolutely fair enough to me. I think that's a good idea. But the artwork, as always, stunning in both issues as well. So Let me know what you think in the comments. I do have an Arrow video going up tomorrow, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll do a Flash video on Saturday. So that is it for this video. Please do drop a like, please do subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.